right, and welcome to week number 3 of Walk the Plank, the podcast that does a recap of the events from the Perry Athletic Department and previews the week to come. I'm joined by Gene Winters, as always, my co-host. Thanks for being here, Gene.
Yeah, another busy week. Week 3 was going back through it. There was a lot going on last week.
Yeah, we are at the peak of fall sports season right now, that's for sure. We've got, all of our teams are in full-blown action at this point. We have several of our teams that will be approaching their postseason already, so they've been at it since the beginning of August. So that's the way golf and tennis seem to work out a little bit. So we're gonna meet our athletes of the week here. One's from our boys golf team, and I'm happy to introduce to you Hazel Cannon. She's our female athlete of the week for representing our cross country team. Hazel, thanks for being here.
Yep.
How is the sophomore year going so far? We just talked a little bit before going on camera here. This is your 3rd appearance on Walk the Plank. I said I think that's a record for a sophomore. So she was on last year as a freshman for cross and for track in the spring. So how is that sophomore year going for you?
It's going good. It's definitely a lot different, like training-wise. Like mileage has increased a lot.
Okay.
And it's good. I like it.
And you started the year off. We'll start from the beginning and then work our way through. You guys are in your 3rd week of competition, but that first week of the season is always a fun way to start. Over at neighboring school district Riverside, their night race, huge race, schools from 4 different states, and I told people to stay away from Route 84 at 8 o'clock the night of that race because it's backed up everywhere. But huge race at night, a little bit different. How is that race? Is it fun? Is it a little bit different to start that way as opposed to a traditional race at 10 in the morning?
No, I definitely like starting that way.
Okay.
It's just fun. It's a good way to like kickstart the season.
Yeah.
Like everyone on our team like gets like glow in the dark and painted up, and it's fun.
It's awesome.
Were there any nerves going into that, or was it now that it's the 2nd year, you know what to expect?
I mean, there's definitely a little bit just because it's the first race, but it's more fun than it's nervous. Like you don't know what your time's gonna be. It's just go out, see how it is.
Do you look back at last year what you ran there and try to top that, or you just kind of, this is the first race of the year and I'm just going to, start fresh and see what sophomore year brings?
Yeah, you more so just start fresh.
Start fresh, and then is the idea behind it to, obviously I think everybody would love to PR every week and get better and knock that time down, so as we get into the CVC and the district and on to regionals and so on, that time keeps coming down. Is that your mindset, or is that just a general overall how I think of things, I guess?
No, that's definitely my mindset. I'm trying to get that PR from last season, which has been difficult because I was out over summer because I was injured at the end of track season.
Okay.
So I'm starting to get back now.
Starting to get back. What was your best time last year? What's your PR from last year?
I believe it was a 20:33.
Okay.
And then you moved from Riverside off to the Ashland tournament overnight trip. So let's just talk about that part of it first, because one thing we learned last year was how much the athletes enjoyed the overnight trip. So how was that experience down in Ashland?
That one was definitely more stressful because it's like a big race. It's not like as fun, but the overnight's fun, and like we go to Olive Garden and eat a bunch the night before, and it's just a good experience as a team.
And so the girls finished 4th overall at that tournament. So like Gene said, a great showing. You ran 21:33, finishing 8th overall. That's pretty. That's a top 10 finish at a nice big invitational like that. What does that mean for the rest of the season? Are you worried more about time or like place? Because we'll talk about Kenston too, and we'll know where you ended there. But is it more about the time or is it about the place?
I'd say it's more about the time early in the season, but as you get to postseason, you're like looking out for the rest of your team, so it's definitely like place has a big factor in it, but right now it's more time.
And that was our first time at Ashland, correct?
Yes.
So first time on that course? Okay. And then Kenston this past weekend, we ran in the open side of the race, but you finished first in that open side. Coach said, had we run, there are a lot of big schools there, a lot of big D1 schools there. And so she didn't want us to get overwhelmed in that mix of things. But she said you would have finished easily, even amongst that tough competition, in the top 25 with your time. What did you run this past weekend?
I ran a 21:30
Okay.
or 40 again.
Okay, so right at it, right about
Yeah.
the same. Okay.
And then going from Riverside to Ashland to last week at Kensington, how are those tracks different, or how what challenges did each one of those pose for you?
So this past one, actually, it was difficult because they didn't have times at each of the miles, and I didn't even know what mile I was at, if I'm gonna be honest. I was like at mile 2, and I asked Landon on my team, am I even at mile 1 yet? Because I
Right.
just didn't know, and so that was challenging. But I kind of liked it because you don't know where you're at. So, and then the one before that had a lot of hills, and we didn't know about them, so it was a surprise.
Coach Thomas told us about the mountains, I believe
Yeah.
he called them. So that was, especially if you don't know about them, right? That's like, all right, you can sort of have a mindset going in if you know they're coming, but when they just show up and you're going to go up the hill, it's a little crazy. Do you have a favorite course, like of all of them that you've run? You're only a sophomore year, just finished your third week your sophomore year, but of all the ones you've run so far, or back to middle school, what is your favorite?
I'd say Riverside.
Okay.
That's definitely influenced about how fun the meet is, but I like that race.
Okay.
And did you take on more of a leadership role? Obviously, last year losing Holly and Morgan coming into this year. Now you're a sophomore. Do you put a little bit more pressure on yourself, knowing that you have to maybe fill those shoes, or do you just kind of stay within yourself and let the upperclassmen handle all that?
It's definitely as our number one girl runner, I don't know, there's more stress, I guess, but I don't know, the upperclassmen are still really great, they help a lot.
And how did going back to Ashland, it was the three of you with Kate and Abby Cornwell all finished in the top 30. How do those two help push you, and how do you help kind of boost them along as well?
Well, definitely warming up with them before, and we just talk, and we have a little talk before, and help get each other out of our heads. That helps a lot. I know Kate's mentioned that she'll see me sometimes a little bit ahead of her, and that helps her keeping her eye on me. So yeah.
And we're off this weekend, right? We have no race on Saturday. Typically, for those of you who don't know, our cross country at the high school level, while middle school is more during the week, Tuesday, Thursday, or once a week. The high school schedule is mainly on Saturdays, but good little bye week here to sort of regroup, get some more mileage in maybe this week, train a little harder in practice, and then we are back at it after that. You want to come back at Madison, we'll be at the end of the month, and then we are back there for the district meet. Does it help running a course a couple of times in prep for that district? We're going to ask Benny here in a little bit about the golf course. They're playing Quail Hollow. They're going to play a tournament there this week and then the following week. Does it help from a cross-country standpoint, just knowing the course a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, after when we hosted our big middle school event, we had 15 or 16 teams here the other day, and knowing the course is important. I'll just leave it at that. So that Madison coming up, then CVC will be at Geneva this year, which will be a new course. Have you run that one before? I know we have something coming up with Geneva at some point. I think we're doing a try with them or something on that course, so another opportunity, I guess, to see that course there. But have you run Geneva before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's new that they've never hosted CVC, so it's going to be a new experience for them and probably for all of our runners in the conference.
And last year, as a freshman, named first team All CVC. So, what were some of your goals, or what was something that maybe you were looking forward to here in your sophomore year, trying to build upon the success you had last year?
Hopefully, just putting in a lot of hard work at practice, and I hope to get my times down.
Any postseason goals? So we'll go CVC, then the district race, and then you have to. At that point, that's the season ends for many runners because you got to qualify to stay alive and go to regionals. Any postseason goals for you, Hazel?
I hope to make it to regionals, individually again.
Yeah, right.
So that's my goal.
Awesome. All right. Well, forgot to mention you get another Dairy Queen free meal deal there. You get your Blizzard, you get your meal. Visit DQ. Thank you to Marie and the crew down there for always sponsoring our Athletes of the Week. We'll get Hazel out of here with a few questions just to get to know you a little bit better. Hazel, favorite food?
Steak.
Steak. All right. Any restaurant you're going to get your steak, or good home cooked steak on the grill?
I don't know. I like making it myself.
Okay, there you go. Favorite subject in school?
Probably biology.
Bio. Any favorite movie or a streaming series, television show, anything along those lines?
I really like the Titanic movie.
Okay. You're involved in many sports here. Like we said, this is your third time on this program. Any hobbies outside of track, cross country, any other athletic activities?
I really like spending time with my friends.
Okay. Very good. Favorite app or game on your phone? This is a new question, yeah.
Ooh.
Mr. Winters added this one, and he needs some guidance.
Probably just TikTok. I don't know.
Okay. Favorite memory from Perry? So we changed this one up a little bit as well. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be athletically based. From all your years here in Perry, your sophomore, what would you say some of your top memories are from just Perry?
Probably a lot of them are at the football games with friends.
Okay, awesome. Visit any place in the world, Hazel. Where are you going? Money's not an object. Go anywhere you want.
Australia.
Okay, awesome. Hazel Cannon, congratulations on a great start to the season. Thanks for being on the program, and good luck the rest of the year. We'll update everybody as you go.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. Hazel Cannon, women's cross country team, and looking for more success after a great freshman year.
Yeah, take a week off, and as you mentioned, get into the heart of the season now, where you're making that push towards sectionals and districts and regionals and all the way down to through the postseason. So a lot to come in the next couple of weeks for both cross country teams.
Definitely. All right, let's bring up Benny. Benny Dame is our male athlete of the week. Men's golf, Ben, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Also a repeat customer here for Walk the Plank. Was on here last year, and third season playing varsity as a junior. So how is this season going, Ben?
They're not with my expectations I have for myself. I haven't been playing the greatest this year, but in my eyes, postseason is more what matters.
Yeah.
So really, as we got post-CVC coming up and then sectionals tournament coming up, hopefully I can string a couple rounds together so I can advance deep in the state tournament and stuff like that.
Well, that's what makes golf unique. So it really just depends on the day. We know if you got the skill to do it, and if you go out and, like you said, you get hot and you shoot a good round. I've seen it go both ways in many high school golf tournaments where kids who are supposed to qualify for state tournament go out and they have a bad round, and it just doesn't happen, and it can happen the opposite way too. Now, and again, we play we had your dad as a head coach on a couple of weeks ago. We play in a really tough part of the Chagrin Valley Conference. So we're in with Orange, Chagrin Falls, Hawken. Those schools are excellent, and certainly not that we're not, but it's maybe our record isn't indicative of exactly how talented we are. We've got 3 freshmen on the team, 3 upperclassmen, 2 juniors, and a senior. How has it been having those freshmen be on the team, and how are you guys trying to help guide them along? And you were a freshman once, so you sort of been in their shoes.
Yeah, when I was a freshman, Alex, AJ, Carson, all the seniors did a great job with setting the tone for us and showing how, golf is a very mature sport, I'd say, and you got to take it seriously. So me, Bronson, and Russell are trying to set that tone for the freshmen, and hopefully they can have a bright future in Perry.
And you mentioned it at the start. What don't you like about your game right now? What are you looking to fix as postseason approaches?
I'm just trying to fix my consistency. During the summer, I was able to practice a lot more often, but during the beginning of the school year and during the beginning of golf season, I wasn't able to practice as much. So I feel like my golf game declined a little bit, but as I practice more, I hope it's on the uprise at the right time.
When you're on, or when you feel comfortable with yourself, what's the best part of your game?
I'd say my iron play, getting the tee shot in play, I can hit a 4-iron or a hybrid off the tee, and then I know I can get my irons on the green and then just got 2-putt from there.
Well, and I think that's part of it too. Is like you said, you may not be scoring now exactly where you want to be, and I tell all of our coaches this when they nominate the athletes for athlete of the week. It doesn't have to be the best score or the person who scored the most points or did this. Like being a leader, being part of a program, which you are now as an upperclassman, as you just talked about, helping guide those freshmen. You've been there before. You're a seasoned vet at this point, right? And you're helping those guys along. And hopefully next year, I mean, we'll only lose one senior. And I can tell you, it looks like we're going to be in a different division for golf next year. So that'd be a positive. We can go compete for a CVC title next year. But I guess let's focus back on this year real quick. So upcoming, we have CVC tournament on Monday, the 15th, out at Quail Hollow. And then we turn right back around the following Monday, the 22nd, for sectionals out at Quail Hollow. And just like we talked to Hazel about course familiarity, how does it help a golfer play on the same course sort of back-to-back weeks?
It definitely really helps because Quail Hollow, it's a tough golf course, you know, a lot of out of bounds. So, like, knowing where you got it or where the open spots are and where you can't go, it helps a lot mentally and, like, especially in your preparation for the tournament, you can practice at like the driving range where like your shot shapes and where not to miss.
How many times have you played Quail Hollow, or how many times are you going to play it in this week?
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get out there. It's a pretty busy golf club, but I've played it obviously my freshman and sophomore year, so I definitely know the course pretty well, both of them. So I feel like I'm ready for the next two Mondays.
And Madison Country Club is our home course. What you have a favorite hole out at Madison? Or let's start with this: favorite side, front or back?
I like the front better. I know probably most people would pick the back just because it's more scoreable and stuff like that. But I mean, we play the front so much more, and it's a little bit harder. So I like enjoying harder courses. You know, playing farther back tees and having more trouble in play. Just I don't know, makes it more challenging, more fun.
Okay.
So.
And then what hole? Would it be on the front? Is your favorite hole on the front there?
I'd probably say number 6 or number 5's not bad either. Okay. I mean, they're all pretty much the same, to be honest.
Does it give us a good home course advantage playing there as much as you guys play there? I mean, obviously, then we have to return the favor, go on the road, and so we're playing at Tanglewood when we go to Chagrin Falls. But Chagrin coming out to Madison, how much of an advantage is that for us when we're hosting?
I mean, it's pretty advantage because, you know, Madison's not the easiest course. It's pretty narrow, I'd say. There's a lot of trees around, so if you get in the trees, it's tough. But knowing how to get out of the trees there and where you can miss and stuff like that is definitely a big help when we have those home matches.
Okay.
And Mr. Rockwell mentioned it earlier. Coach mentioned it in week 1. Obviously, the division you guys play in is tough, but you've had some success against the teams in our division, but it's been in tournaments. So how do you get past that mental part of when you guys are playing them one-on-one, struggling, but seeing the same people, same talent or same teams in a tournament, having that success? How do you build upon that to carry you guys next week?
Yeah, you know, it is tough with the 9-hole matches, especially in our conference, but, you know, most of our guys, you know, in the pre-CVC, we all held close with that tough competition. We had some guys place very high, so just knowing that we can stick around with those guys and compete with them, and you know, maybe they have a bad round and we have a good round, you know, depending on the course, you know, it could just be like a toss-up basically. So.
And then for you, obviously golf, part of the mental game, that's the biggest part of it. So what's the biggest challenge for you? You know, you hit a bad shot. How do you approach your next one? How do you keep in that positive mindset?
Yeah, it's hard because, you know, I feel like I put a decent amount of pressure on myself because I want to play at the collegiate level. And, you know, nobody's obviously perfect, but I want to be, you know, strive for closest to perfect. So whenever I hit a bad shot, I get frustrated. But I just got to realize, you know, there's many more shots in the golf round. So you just got to skip on into the next one.
Is it strange this year without your brother?
I mean, it is strange. Yeah, I miss playing with him, but you know, gotta focus on the team this year and have fun with them.
Is it a little bit more quieter without him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Quieter at home too, probably.
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure.
All
Gotta
right.
listen to Maddie though.
Yes, that's very true. All right, Benny, before you go, just some get to know you questions, and we'll get you out of here. Here's your certificate again to
Thank you.
DQ. Thank you. Favorite food?
Chipotle burrito.
Chipotle.
Chipotle's top.
Okay. And burrito, not a bowl.
No, burrito.
Going straight burrito. All right. Favorite subject in school?
Probably either science or math.
Okay. Good ones to have as favorites. Neither were my favorites. Favorite movie or television series, show, what have you?
I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of movies, but I'd probably say, I've said this in recent years too, the James Bond movie series
Okay.
is pretty good.
That's a good one. Any hobbies? You're on the golf course a lot. Obviously, your family has a business involved in golf, so you're around golf quite a bit. Any hobbies outside of it?
No, yeah, just hang out with friends, especially when the college guys come home during the summer, you know. Friends in high school, we just all go hang out, at other people's houses and just have a good time.
Who won the jacket this year?
No, I did.
You won the
I
jacket.
I won the major.
Look at that
yeah.
smile. I think that's maybe more of an accomplishment
Yep,
than
that was the happy ending to the summer for sure.
Okay, so give us a little bit of detail on that, just a little behind the scenes. How did this whole thing start, and what color jacket is it?
It's a tan beigeous jacket.
So not green.
Me,
like Masters.
Alex, and Jake, our commissioner Jake Hubison, we took a trip down to the Goodwill in Madison.
Okay.
And we got a jacket, and we got this antique-looking trophy. So we got a trophy. The winner puts the ball in each year with the score on it, and then they get the jacket for a year and write their name in it.
Okay, awesome. And how many people play in the tournament? What'd you have
This year, I think we had like 12 or 16.
Okay.
But it's been around that number every year.
Okay,
So.
and what'd you shoot?
I shot 80. It wasn't my best, but Chardon Lakes was a tough golf course, and we played the tips. It's 6,800 yards, so
Okay,
we wanted
yeah.
to have as much
So
fun as possible.
what happened to how did it get out at Chardon Lakes? Just random?
We just ran. We wanted to play at Boulder
different
Creek.
course. Oh,
We
okay.
wanted to play at like a longer course, so
Yeah.
it was harder and more fun.
Yeah.
But
Well, that would not have helped Chardon.
Chardon Lakes had open tee times,
Okay.
and they were decently long, so we just chose there.
Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations. Hopefully you can defend your title next
defend
summer.
my title.
All right, so where were we? Hobbies. Favorite app or game on your phone?
Probably go either Instagram or Snapchat, just because it's socialize with friends and stuff like that.
Okay. Favorite memory from Perry, whether it's sports or school related, all the way up.
I'd probably say football games as well.
Okay.
We've had a lot of fun ones, especially with Alex and AJ here.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've been a lot of fun.
All right. Visit anywhere in the world. Where is Benny Dame heading?
I'd probably take it. My family took a trip a little bit ago to Turks and Caicos, and
Okay.
I'd probably return there.
All right,
Place
go
is pretty
back.
sweet.
All right. Clear water.
Yeah, very
crystal clear. All right, Benny Dame, thanks for being here. Good
Thank
luck
you
the
for
rest of
having
the
me.
year. We'll update everybody here as you go, and good luck next Monday out at Quail Hollow.
Thank you.
All right, Benny Dame. Yeah, it's crazy. Golf and shortly tennis will be finishing their seasons up. So
Yeah.
it's moving along. It's
As
crazy.
we talked about, sports that started at the beginning or end of July,
Yeah.
before even August 1st, when most of the teams started practicing in the fall, they were already going at it. And you said you got to find those nice days to make sure that you could finish both golf and tennis season.
Right, for sure. And yeah, it's just crazy that it's upon us. So we're a little late in shooting this pod this week. It's a Thursday. We normally like to be Tuesday or Wednesday. It's probably going to be later next week too, looking at next week's schedule. And we're pretty slammed with stuff. So we'll update and give everybody, we'll know by the time we have our week 4 pod what the boys and if we shoot Thursday, the girls, we'll talk to Coach Walker here in a minute about their tournament on Thursday. So, yeah, let's bring them on up. Coach Walker, girls golf. First season as our girls golf coach. Sort of just switched roles. Obviously, Coach Walker has been here and coached with us at the Perry Schools for many years, going on a decade, and made the switch over to girls golf. Obviously, you have a golf background as well. Everybody, I think, associates you with the tennis, Pine Lakes Tennis Club, and your history on tennis. You're on the wall for making it to state in tennis, but you also are a pretty darn good golfer back starting in the high school years, correct?
Yeah, I was a 3-year letter.
Okay.
I didn't play my senior year, tried to focus on tennis.
Okay.
And then now I spend most of my free time, if I can get any, out on the golf
Right,
course.
right, okay.
So
Very
kinda
good.
switched.
Yep. definitely. So it's a month into the season, a month and a week, or so, and like we're talking postseason. The golf and tennis is a little bit the same, but golf is really abbreviated to the standpoint you're starting matches the last week of July, you're ending the regular season. I mean, our senior night is not until September 23rd, but your CVC postseason tournament is next Thursday. That's the 18th, I believe. And then we're at sectionals the following week, senior night, and the season's wrapping up really by the end of September. So how's that first year going? Has it not been a transition for you, starting a little earlier and obviously switching from that tennis to the golf side?
It's been fun. Kind of gets me out on the golf course, off the tennis court for a little bit.
Yeah.
My main job. So it's been fun. We've had 7 girls kind of play for us this year. 4 seniors kind of have led the way most of the year, especially with Jillian. I think she's averaging a 41 on the year. Has been the low medalist in every dual match besides one.
Okay.
So she's really been fun to watch.
Right. And she will, so our postseason tournament is at Erie Shores. So we're getting so big in the Chagrin Valley Conference that we just keep growing and growing. We're going to have 29 teams at the start of next year. We're at 25 right now. So we've had to expand, and now we've got 2 separate sites for girls golf tournament. So we're at Erie Shores, half are at Punderson, half are at Erie Shores. Have we played out there before? Are the girls familiar with that course? I know, talking to Jill, I know she is, but have we played out there yet this year?
Yeah, we played the preseason, kind of like a fun day. Top 2 played a best ball match, kind of did a Ryder Cup format. Next to the 3s and 4s did a alternating shot, and then the 5, 6s played a 2-man scramble, CVC versus WRC.
Awesome.
So then we played a dual match there with Geneva and Madison. Won both of those there. So I think it's a shorter course than what we're used to at Madison Country Club. Par 34, I believe, on the front. We haven't played the back yet. Madison's par 37, 3 par 5s, much longer, much more difficult. So I think playing the tougher course on a regular basis, we should fare well to play a little bit easier course at Erie Shores.
Okay.
And does that help benefit your team? Again, if you're looking at your 7 girls, where's the strengths? Where maybe are the weaknesses or the spots you still would like to improve on?
Judging by the tougher course, I know we played Geneva at Erie Shores and beat them, and then lost to them at our home course. So I think the shorter course actually benefits us a little bit.
And what did you know about the squad before taking over the program? Did you kind of research it before making that switch, or was it kind of, maybe take us behind that curtain? How did this decision get made to flip over to golf?
Well, we talked about it last year. Just wasn't comfortable leaving the tennis program. Didn't really have a qualified coach. Qualified coach kind of stepped up this year. Felt that the transition would be fine, long as tennis still had a good coach. So kind of worked out this year. I knew Jillian from family events. Were related. So that was really the only one I knew. So the rest of them was, we got to know each other through summer workouts. And these girls are busy. They're in drama club. They're in band. They have full-time jobs.
Yep.
So they put in some time, but they're busy. High school girls, I mean, they're not sitting around. They're good students. They're good kids. So
Yeah.
it's been fun.
So you have those 4 seniors on the roster. How do you describe each of them? You have not that you have to give a full scouting report on each of them, but what have they meant to the team? Obviously, they make up the majority of our 7 that have played for us.
Yeah, they've been good. Their scoring averages are all Obviously, Jillian's much higher.
Sure.
Lila would be our second
Okay.
highest, and then the other three are pretty close. So I think we've done a pretty good job. Definitely we could always need to work on our short game.
Sure.
Definitely give some strokes away from here and there on the greens, which is tough. It's lag putting and getting the ball in. I struggle with, so I can't fault them for
Yeah.
stuff that I've been playing golf a lot longer than all of them, and I still struggle with. So.
And how do we break down in the CVC? So we're playing with schools like Geneva and Lakeside and Edgewood. Is there a team that how are we sitting in the CVC standings? And is there somebody out there where that we need to go sort of hunt down here in that postseason tournament coming up?
I would definitely say Edgewood is the team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to them by 4 strokes at our home course. And we didn't have a great day that day.
Yeah.
We beat Geneva. It was another try match that we
Yep.
had Geneva with Edgewood at the same time at our place. So Geneva beat us at our home course, and we beat them. And losing to 4 by Edgewood, we'll see how we fare on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that. So if we can squeak out a win there, I would assume we're at least tied at the top.
Yeah.
By having 2 losses, and I think everyone else would have 2 losses. Because I know Edgewood and Geneva would each have 1. So
Right.
if we beat them, we would all, I think, be 3-way tied at the top. So
Yeah.
we're
And then
7-2.
at that point, it's a free for all. Whoever wins the postseason tournament is going to be CVC champ. So that's fun.
Yep.
And coming over from tennis over to golf, both kind of individual sports. The mental game, we talked about it with Benny. Do you use some of those same strategies you used in tennis for the golf side, or is there a whole different mindset coming from one sport to another?
I think the mindset's kind of similar, even though they're classified as team sports. You're really out there on an island by yourself. Tennis, you got some doubles. You have a teammate out there you're playing doubles with. Most of the time in the dual matches, you have a teammate that you're playing with. So the similarities I think are pretty similar. That you're basically out there, as I said, on an island. So you don't really have that team to back you up. It's like it's you against the golf course, or you against your opponent in tennis. So similarities are definitely there.
All right, Coach Walker, thanks for being here. Again, just to highlight our girls CVC tournament out at Erie Shores next Thursday, the 18th. I don't know. I think we're probably going to shoot on Thursday next week, so we'll be able to update people the following week, and then right into the sectional tournament out at Punderson the following, I think, Tuesday.
Following Thursday.
So back-to-back
Back-to-back
Thursdays.
Thursdays as well.
All right, so there we go. We'll wrap it up, and I know Jill and some of the other girls have some goals postseason wise, so it'll be exciting to follow them and see what they do.
All right.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
for being here. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks.
Rob Walker, head girls golf coach here at Perry.
Yeah, another exciting is they're right on the verge of their postseason starting and getting into the conference tournament. It's going to be an exciting 2-3 weeks for the golf program as they continue to play this season out.
Yeah, and one sport that's not close to their postseason is football.
Yeah.
We're only in week 3. We've got week 3 in the books, and potentially, their playoffs would not start to. If you finish in the top 4, you won't have your first playoff game until November 8th, which is almost 2 months from today, which is crazy. So.
Yeah, but that game last week started out trading punches. That first half was an amazing half to watch. Unfortunately for the Pirates, the second half didn't go as well in a 44-24 loss at Kirtland.
Yeah, and they give credit to Kirtland. They came out in the second half and they took it to us a little bit, but it was especially the way last year's game ended in the downpour rain and a triple overtime, and number one for them jumping over the goal line and just getting in. Winning the game that way. So that was already an instant classic. And then to come have the first half that we had last week with, Traxton Richards kickoff return to start the game, and then their first play from scrimmage is a touchdown. It was like, all right, this is going to be different than what we're used to in Perry Kirtland game where you always think of great defenses on both sides of the ball, and if you had the total or whatever, like if you had the over, you were a winner by halftime because that thing was certainly a shootout.
On the volleyball side, team improves to 5-5, 4-0 in conference. They had a number of 3-0 wins last week and then leading in this week with West G.
Yeah, definitely very strong conference start. That's awesome. We were defending CVC champs from last year, went undefeated in the league. And so that was certainly a goal of this team coming in, is to repeat as CVC champions. But at the same time, we got upset last year earlier than we wanted to in the postseason tournament. And by a team that had a worse record than us. They were around 500, but they played high level of competition throughout the year. And so that's what we really increased the level of our out-of-conference schedule.
Yep.
We started the season at the Hudson tournament, playing Hudson, Walsh, and Riverside, 3 premier programs in the areas, and lost all 3 matches, but we competed, and it was a great way to start the year, even though it's with 3 losses. So our record is 5-5. We go back and we play in the Chagrin tournament this past weekend, and have had success there against really high quality teams. And so that's the focus of this team. We talked as a coaching staff at the end of the season, how do we give our team the best chance to have success in postseason and make a longer run and not get upset, so to speak, in the opening or second round. And that was one way we were going to attack it, is just to go out and play high level of competition. So, if our record is around 500 at the end of the year, so be it, but we're going to be ready. We're going to be battle-tested for that postseason run.
Yeah, so the girls had a win earlier this week at West G. They're home tonight, which is Thursday, versus Hawkins. So another conference game at a team that I believe they beat earlier this year.
Yeah, so we get to see Hawkins back-to-back almost, early on. We beat them a couple of weeks ago, 3-0. So come on out tonight, and it's Thursday night, 5 p.m. JV and freshmen will play, followed by the varsity in the main gym at about 6:15. Great start to the year, certainly for our volleyball program, especially CVC wise. So we look to get over that 500 record again, but not focused on that gaudy record, and we're really trying to get better as the year goes.
And girls tennis, they'll be back in action today at Lakeside. But since the last time we were here, I believe they went 3-2 over the last week. A couple of losses to some really good teams, traveling to Erie against Chagrin Falls, but picking up 3 wins throughout the week.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is sort of opposite of volleyball, where we've found a lot of success in the volleyball side in that CVC conference. We're on the tennis side, just like boys golf with Benny that we talked about. We're playing Chagrin Falls, Orange, Beechwood, Hawkins, and Orange is ranked number 1 in the state in girls tennis. Hawkins in the top 5 in Division II throughout the entire state, and so we play a very, very tough conference schedule. So I'm so happy that the girls were able to get some wins, get out there. And it again, just almost opposite. We're going to try to find a non-conference schedule that is a little bit more palatable and a little bit more, again, we don't want to walk in and win 5-0, but matches that we're going to go compete. So we're very evenly matched with teams like Chardon and Geneva. We've got to finish those matches up, and Lakeside should be a good test for us tonight. And we've been able to get some wins, and so I think we're sitting at, do we have a record on there? 4-5 overall.
That sounds about right. I was trying to go through it last night, and I was not for sure, but that sounds about right. Hovering right around 500.
Yeah, right around 500 with a couple of matches out there that could go either way at the end with Chardon and Geneva. So we might get our way above 500 here soon enough. Might find our way there tonight with Lakeside.
And on the girls' soccer side, unfortunately, the injury bug has started to nip at their heels a little bit. Coach Stavar, Coach Carino, and the girls, unfortunately, are in a little bit of a rut right now. But, again, injuries are taking away a number of the players.
We're going to have 5 starters out tonight, I believe, when we travel to Hawkins. So it's going to be a challenge. It was a challenge Monday at Padua, challenge at Wycliffe on Saturday. That's when we had a couple of injuries. So it seems like we're getting 1 to 2 injuries every match. And now when that happens, that's compounding upon each other, right? Because the person who got hurt the match before isn't back yet, and we get another person hurt, and then another person hurt. Yeah. So we're 4 or 5 starters down heading into Hawken tonight, and obviously a very good program over there. And we'll see what happens. We're gonna go play. We might only have 12 or 13 girls ready to go, but we're gonna go play that match, and hopefully. That's just those are the breaks. Sometimes that's the luck you need to have a really good season. And right now, it's not with us, but hopefully we get these players back over the coming weeks. And again, we get to make a postseason run. I was talking with Coach Stavar the other day, and Coach Carino, who's the assistant, that we're in Division IV girls soccer. We went through. There's about 35 teams in our district, and our record's not going to be showing this, but we could compete in the top 10 of those 30 schools when healthy. And that'll be the key to the rest of the season is again keeping the team together, keeping them mentally as strong as possible, and see through all of the struggles you're going to have when you're down 5 stars. Half your starters are out. It just is what it is. Yep. And they'll battle and they'll get through, and we'll see what happens in the postseason.
And boys soccer, they're on kind of a mini break right now until the 16th, but they come in are sitting right now at 2-5, coming off a loss earlier this week against Hawken. Yeah,
and again, Hawken, just like we're going to go tonight with the girls, very strong program, and they do a great job. And so do we. We're just not there yet, and so we took one on the chin the other night against Hawken, but I know, talking to Coach Tanish, and we'll have her on here in the coming weeks as well. We have to persevere through the CVC side of the schedule, knowing that we've got a West G, Chagrin, Hawken, Lutheran West types of people on our schedule, and continue to battle and get better each and every day, each and every practice. And I know that's her goal and that's her objective. And having Chance on a couple of weeks ago, I know. They're in a better place this year than they were last year. So we just got to keep growing and keep getting better.
Yeah, a lot going on. A lot of the teams are starting to come back, playing home games here at Perry. So be sure to get out, support the football and the volleyball teams this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Look ahead towards the schedule for next week is soccer. Boys soccer, both soccers, tennis are back home next week. So get out here. There's a lot to support over the next coming week.
It is, and we have our senior nights coming up here. It's crazy that we're going to start to have those, but we do. I know off the top of my head, girls tennis is September 22nd. Girls golf is September 23rd. I believe boys golf is the 22nd as well. Volleyball is September 30th against Harvey. So all of those, we got several of them happening here in the month of September. So again, we're sort of right in that middle of the grind here of that fall sports season. It's our busiest in terms of number of teams. Winter's a longer grind. It's more extended. Fall is sort of a sprint with, we have 9 or 10 teams competing. So we're all over the place. That's why I think next week, again, we're probably looking at a Thursday to shoot the pod, but we appreciate you listening in here this week as we wrap up week 3 until week 4, and next week, go Pirates.